What is going on, Lunatic Fringe? Let's talk Luna Classic and what's going on in this market right now. I told you guys, I do think that we've got a big time reversal that's almost here. And of course, we're inching a little bit closer. We had a positive day for 2 days in a row, the last 2 days. Today, we're kind of dead even. It's going to be on the U.S. market to see whether or not they are in a buy mode or not, to find out whether we'll have a positive day or not. Now, I don't know that that's the case, simply because money's being pulled out of markets at an alarming pace in the United States, just not the rest of the world. So this is kind of an inflection point where I think what we need is we need that final dip in order to explode, but I don't know that we will get it. Probably just explode anyway. So make sure you hit the like button on the way in. Let's talk about it. I'll explain to you what I'm talking about. Let's go. Okay, so Bankless Times has an article up talking about a 350% surge for Luna Classic that may be coming. And in fact, I would say the answer to that would be yes, because, you know, we've talked about this over and over and over again, and these guys are not giving you a prediction that I haven't given you already. So the question is, when or how aggressive will it go, or anything like that, right? So the initial target is 3 zeros 18, and then the final target there for that move would be 3 zeros 27.96. Ironically, we've brought that up because it shows up on the chart. It's an obvious move, so I hope that we end up seeing that very, very soon. Also, the LUNC to Bitcoin pairing, not as favorable today as it's been. We'll see whether that maintains or not. Meme coins, we've had a lot of outward momentum on meme coins and on a few utilities in the last 24 hours. Nothing that's really dramatically affected, but we had some sell-off on Terra, tiny bit. A little bit of downward momentum on Garuda, but again, nothing really horrible. Just liquidity being extracted by people who just not gonna make it. The not gonna make it. That's what they do. So we got 3 different proposals that are up right now. Request for funds to compensate the 3.4 upgrade looks like it's going to pass, but we have vesting contract payment option, and we have establishing the Terra Classic Sub-DAO initiative. Let's see what that looks like. So the request for funds, again, does seem like it's going to pass with no issue or problems. Vesting contract payment options. This proposal would provide a second payment option to certain developers requesting payment through Terra Classic governance, with the idea, I suppose, with the option here to find a different way to pay people for whatever it is. And I'm going to encourage you to read this. It's not my lane. So I'm going to encourage you to read through this, go through it. Over the next day or two, we'll dig into it a little bit more and check it out and see whether or not that's something that we want. But remember how people are voting on each one of them. The other one is establishing the Terra Classic Sub-DAO initiative. This initiative is aimed at organizing and decentralizing key responsibilities for the Terra Classic blockchain. Now, you can see right here that the voting has been kind of split at this point, 50-50 really, between 3 validators who voted early. I'm going to say that some of the DeFi people, the decentralized, are going to have a problem with this, because they will try to convince you that they want absolute and utter freedom, that leadership is only going to lead to things like a website. They're only going to lead to things like a repeg and a burn. They're only going to guidance and positivity in the market, and they're not about to have. Okay, so I know I'm being funny, but I don't know what else to say about those people. So hopefully we'll find some kind of positivity out of it. So make sure, by the way, that you are validating with the people who vote your conscience on all initiatives. So again, we'll dig into the Sub-DAO. We'll do this one on Friday. We'll figure it out, and we'll decide for ourselves. We got a couple days before we have. All right, now fundamentally, here we are. I don't know whether or not this bottom right here is this bottom. I'm looking at this trend right here and this right here as this right here. And you can see right there during that dip, if we're doing the same thing, if we're apples to apples, if we're looking at that way, then I don't know if that was the break. I don't know if this is the breakout, or if this is just, some of this right here and that we're heading lower. Now, it would make sense if we were heading lower. I don't see any reason for big buyers to come stepping in, stuff like that. But that's also when these kind of things do happen. So again, we're looking at money flow and we're seeing positive money flow. And when that positive money flow is there like it is, then it's inevitable that the market will reverse and have a big run to match up with that global money inflow. So not only that, but you're seeing people like Altcoin Gordon, you're seeing other people who are now paying attention to the global money flow, and they're recognizing the same thing that I've been telling you for a few days, that we're about to have an explosive rally because that money flow. Volume down 25% on the day, not good. USTC, same thing, down 25% on the day. Again, not good. Now, didn't result in massive dump, but it didn't result in anything. Now, we do have a breaking report here. Weso just received a 15K buy and has now taken 5.3 billion Luna Classic out of circulation. Word is starting to spread about the power of the Weso world ecosystem. So if you are interested, there you have it right there. They've captured 5.3 billion in their total holdings. Now, is that going to be a burn? What's the initiative? Really kind of trying to figure out what that's going to be over the next little while. And if you haven't, by all means, go check out Weso World. We've done this before, but you have a swap, you have mining. You can come over here and do whatever it is that you want in this space. And there's your swap protocol. Now, it would be better to have like a drop down or something like that. I'm sure that we'll work on that, or the Weso people. I'm not part of that team, or I know Diamond Hands. Maybe there'd be a drop down or something like that would help along the way. But for right now, it's just a pretty raw swap, but could be an opportunity here, especially if it's burning a lot. To keep the party going. So check out Weso World. Leonardo is having a conversation here about trader leaves Hyperliquid with $4 million of bad debt. Trader 0xF3F long $300 million worth of ETH this morning and subsequently removed all margin from his DEX account. This forced the Hyperliquid LP vault to take over and liquidate his position, causing the HLP vault to incur $4 million in losses. This account has received 475,000 ETH and PAX G from the trader who longed $300 million of Bitcoin before Donald Trump's U.S. digital asset stockpile. After withdrawing the funds from Hyperliquid, he deposited $10 million in Sky Protocol, purchased 4.14 million ETH and 2.95 in on-chain gold. So I don't know what's going on over there, but yeah. Whew. Anyway, Ceramic says another casualty in the Hyperliquid battlefield. When traders gamble with margins, the system strikes. So basically what he's saying is that the Clay is a hedge against something like that happening. So I would certainly go check that out. Also, we're looking at Cointelegraph saying the crypto trading volume has declined since its peak in February, which we know, we've been talking about that for a while. Market exhaustion, more likely the calm before a liquidity storm. Now, calm before liquidity storm, I just showed you that what's about to happen is one of those explosive rallies. The global liquidity market has been pumping back in. So yeah, exactly what they're saying is going to happen. They're going to feel like profit. Down to 312 million burned over the last 7 days. Again, because some of the burns here have just been tiny ones. We've got a little bit of an uptick in USTC, but not something incredible, not something massive or major, but a little bit better than what we've seen over the last bunch of days. So there you have it. That's your update, and hopefully we're going to see some real positivity coming out over the next 24 to 48 hours. I can't tell you when this rally is going to begin. I can't tell you when that 350% rally for Luna Classic is going to happen, if it actually is going to happen, or whether it will happen. I can tell you that if I look at a chart, I see it. I can see the path forward, but we've got to attract new investors. We've got to get some positivity in the market. We've been there before. We've done it before again, but how far can we go? Really the question. So not sure what that answer is. Again, I keep predicting for you guys, maybe a 40x, something like that. That's the best I can say in this scenario, unless something wild happens. And I don't see anything wild happening. So maybe, just maybe, we'll see a big rally coming up very soon. Maybe it'll start in the next couple of days. It's not going to start on Thursday, I don't think. I don't think it'll start on Friday. I don't know if it'll start on a Saturday or Sunday either. Most likely, well, it'll start in the U.S. on a Sunday night because the Chinese market wake up and starts buying. And then we need the Middle Eastern markets to do the same. European markets do the same, and then the US market doing the same, and then, see that kind of pump going. But there's a lot of traders here, and there's still a lot of people using leverage positions. Even people who are telling you, I don't do anything like that, are posting pictures of their 100% profits and 200% profits, despite saying, I don't do that. That's so dangerous, and stuff like that. So there's a lot of gamblers still out here putting in their risk and getting wrecked. So until that slows down and we get to a spot, remember, part of the reason that we're not pumping super hard is that liquidity extraction that comes from few positions. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. It's not financial advice, right?